Hello everyone, and this is going to be the last in the series of drawing trees, parks, and this episode, gardens in our little scratch city here that we've been using in the How to Draw a Map series. Now, what I've done since the last episode is I've just drawn in a couple of extra blocks here. And the reason for that is that I actually want to point out two things when it comes to our trees and parks. Firstly, and I've quickly covered these in other guides, so please feel free to take a look at those videos. But, we spoke about planned gardens, let's call them ornamental gardens. We talked about the semi-planned ones where they're a little bit more of a park and they have some more chaotic, less regular, symmetrical sort of elements. And we spoke a little bit too about placement of trees and the likes inside your city or town. Today we're going to talk about really this type of thing right here, where we're talking about someone's backyard. Now, that yard may be where they do a little bit of woodworking. It may be a storage area. It could be an opportunity to do a little spot of green. Something like this here. This is our little tavern. As you're coming into town, we have a little sort of area that is well traveled as people are coming in through the gate here. And then we have more of a grassy area at the back. So this is the type of thing that we're talking about. These guys have got one here. This guy has got one here. So let's talk about this in two different ways. And first and foremost, when you are drawing your town, you may end up occasionally having these awkward little spots, potentially between buildings like this. Now, can it be a courtyard? Yes, it can, absolutely. There can also be, like, here's another one where we've kind of, we were drawing down this lane right here. We were drawing down this road right here, and it created this gap right in the middle. So this is a prime example of where we could actually just make my pen a little bit smaller, something like that, where we can fill this area in different ways. We could fill it with buildings, yes, absolutely, but we could also do something a little bit like what we're doing up here. So one thing I like to do is, like, imagine these guys have their own backyards, perhaps even connecting them. I like to, you can wall this off, and if you're going to do that, do it softly, right? Almost imagine you were drawing this in pencil right here. This works. There is nothing wrong with that at all. You can also, and let's just zoom out so you can kind of see how this is shaping up, do almost more of a fence post like way. And as you're doing this, notice how it's kind of forming little alleyways in between. I love this. I love this type of, like, right through there. You can imagine our player characters kind of running and kind of heading down in this direction. Another thing is I occasionally like to just throw a little tree or something into the gap, and the fence kind of falls underneath. Let's do another one right here. Now, what that has done is that has filled the space in between our buildings, but it's done so in a, I'm going to call it a funner way than simply throwing in extra buildings, right? Or throwing in yet another courtyard, because we've got a lot of courtyards in here. This is all about variety. You can see that we did something similar right here, where we have filled in space between a building and the road. We have put in space between this building and this road, or even between buildings, and we've made backyards out of it. Let's take this one stage further. We can also use it for something like this big area right here. So I am going to put a little tree on the corner. We're going to do the dotted version. I'm going to create a road edge like so. We're going to separate our building property lines like this. Maybe we'll put a tree right there. Let's keep it interesting, right? And then sometimes I like to take this one stage further. This guy is just like, here's kind of grow a little bit. So we're just going to texture that one. This guy's got a little swing set or something in the backyard, maybe a slide, a couple of little bushes. This guy, maybe he's got a little pond. We'll color that in blue later on. Now look how visually interesting that is. Look, it almost enhances the buildings because we are complementing them with something that is not a hard, straight line. But also, we have managed, if you could see this, this was a very awkward shape in what it left as a fill area. And we've managed to fill that with gardens because the gardens almost, there are softer edge to them, when especially if you throw in some trees on the property lines like this, and they join this whole little block here smoothly. It suddenly becomes one with the map. Let's go one stage further. Let's do something similar right here. Let's give this guy his own side yard, and maybe he's actually got a couple of things that he's got stored in the backyard. Now look at what an awkward shape this is right there. So let's just create a little walkway and let's continue that. And let's give this guy, maybe this guy actually has got like a tree in his backyard. He's actually got a tree house in his tree, and he's got a little path coming down like so. This guy, just a little bit of texture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually connect onto this intersection right there. And I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to create a little bit of a sort of a garden area right here, almost like communal plots of land. I do like breaking up repetitive lines with trees and shrubs. I think it's such a powerful tool. Use it to your advantage. There we go. We'll do something similar right here. This guy's got his backyard, a little bit of a walkway in between. He's also got some things that he's just got stored in his backyard, like so. Look at the visual texture interest that we've got here between the pond, slide, little tree house, storage, different types of storage going on, just a little bit of grass texture. Look how interesting this starts to actually look. What are we going to put here? What are we going to put here? I think, you know what, we're going to put a nice little water feature right here. Maybe with some benches on the side of it. There's texture around those. And there we go. Filled. So using the technique of drawing in a yard or someone's back garden, not only do you have a powerful tool for joining very awkward angles, but you also have a very powerful tool for filling space in a very visual and pleasing manner. When these are actually colored in, you're also going to find that the green against the backdrop of building rooftops and the actual flagstone of the roads, this green area is going to pop, I promise you. And I promise you so much so that in the next episode, we are going to color these and you're going to see just what a great compliment they are. Until then, thank you for being a patron of mine. I really, truly appreciate it. I have a huge amount of love for you. And I'm going to see you in the next episode.